Pete, turn that TV down.
Volume down. 3.
I'm serving soon. Have you done your test?
Yeah, I'll do it in a minute, okay?
Have you got all your gear there?
Yes, I've got my gear here. Chill. Volume up. 4.
So you go to these parties like all the time?
I went to one last night, didn't get home until 6 o'clock in the morning.
You were crazy!
I know. What did you think of Franco? He's gorgeous, isn't he?
Yeah, you seem pretty nice.
He turned out to be a very generous guy.
What do you mean?
Well, look what he gave us. Here, he wanted you to have one.
Oh, wow, that was really nice of him.
Yeah, he's a real sweetie. You nearly ready?
Yeah, I'll be right out.
Launch menu. Info mode. Go youth worker.
Any form of drug taking is a bad idea, whether it be alcohol, cigarettes, IV drugs or ecstasy pills, whatever you like. Whether it be a person who has diabetes or not, they're just not a good idea. When you're stoned, you'll often forget to take your insulins and these sorts of things to do your blood sugars and the stuff that you need to do to have a control over your diabetes. Cocaine in particular for people with diabetes, it throws out their hormonal control and can lead to DKA. Ecstasy tablets, amphetamines, these sorts of things, they can either throw you high or low depending on what you're doing. If you're at a rave and you're taking E's, then you're going to be up, dancing, carrying on, you're going to be drinking heaps of water and that sort of stuff, but you're probably not going to be eating at all because it also can have an appetite suppressant effect and therefore you could throw yourself into a hypo.
Come on, Cal, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm coming. Sorry, babe. Come on, let's go party.
Channel change. 17.
Is the Sendo chicken spicy? Thank you very much.
Why are you calling it? Everything is hard when you're a girl. You don't know. Chinese?
Yeah, learning Mandarin, Chinese.
Gosh, that's intense. Otherwise,
It's not an inconvenience excuse. They just go, shut up.
Yeah, that's
Go in
it.
here. Sorry, can't use that
Haven't you
excuse.
seen prophets though? I just think they're weak and can't really handle it.
That you can have sugar and you need to have sugar as well.
I have taken drugs and I am not better for them. And it's one of the best days at school.
Everyone else have a pot belly. Oh, that.
Got some ice here.
If a man can't get turned on, there's just nothing happening. You know, it's just. I had this friend at school, Ben, that pulled the whole of my year in and said, you know,
Ben's got diabetes, you know. That's terrible. They said it to the whole school.
I think he kind of felt special at the same time too.
Did you treat him any differently?
No, he was my best friend. So like,
Or you
but
or
the other
anyone
kids
else?
did, the other kids did, and that's the whole thing about when you're kids. They're horrible, nasty, cruel little things, you know.
It'd be so hard to integrate it into your lifestyle at the first part of it.
Well, you have to.
It's hard.
Have you had people treat you badly or differently or be because of diabetes?
In any situation.
It's not so much discrimination as sort of looking after you just too much.
Yeah,
Baby, should you be eating that? Get that out of your mouth.
Have you tested yourself today, dear?
If you weren't educated on it, oh my god, you've got to give yourselves injections and you die if you eat sugar.
It's contagious, you know that.
It's contagious, of course, too.
It's not.
It's good to inform somebody or tell, like, if you're with a group of friends or something, tell them what to do in case you like have a hypo or you need food or whatever.
What does a doctor say to
It's supposed to
you?
be exercise, insulin, and diet, healthy eating.
That's good.
I mean, that's really good hypothetically, but I mean, realistically, it's a little bit difficult.
Is there a danger that it can be really bad for you guys if you stay up really late drinking?
If you said, nah, stuff it, I'm not going to take any insulin, I'm just going out, you know, I'm going sick and I'm just drinking myself into a stupor.
I
Sort of
don't have diabetes.
No. If you do that one night, it's not like you're not gonna keel over and die. You know, it's not the end of the world. You're gonna recover and that sort of thing. You're gonna be crook like anyone would be.
The complications aren't necessarily the next morning, like down the track when you're 30, 40.
You know, having a high concentration of sugar in your bloodstream for years
Launch menu.
is a bad thing.
Info
It's
mode.
like
Doctor.
Having high blood sugar levels over a long period of time can lead to diabetes complications, problems with the circulatory system, problems with kidneys, problems with eyes and problems with the nervous system. The most important thing you can do is to keep your blood sugar levels as low as possible or keep your HbA1c as low as you can. Avoid at all costs taking up smoking. Smoking, as with anyone, can lead to extra problems with circulation, with hardening of the arteries, and in diabetes this happens all the more so. It's important to participate in complication screening programs. If complications are picked up early enough, they can be treated and in some cases prevented from progressing.
Actually, that was one thing I was going to ask you guys. If you had taken ecstasy, if it affected your...
Or anything white, like those Aspro clear.
whether you're a diabetic or not, you got to sum up. You know, if drugs is right or wrong for you, and then you got to work out what it's going to do to you. You know, as opposed to what it's going to affect the next person.
Who here, single or in a relationship? Let's go around the circle.
I'm in a relationship with my hand.
Currently you're cheating on it with your other hand.
Johnny Palmer. Does it affect your stamina?
Ooh.
Yeah,
it makes it twice as long. That's actually a good question. If your blood sugar level drops really low, as a guy, your performance does tend to lag a little. Yes, or it does tend to dwindle and slow down.
Launch menu. Info mode. Diabetic.
The thing with sex is that it's a form of exercise, so you need to make sure that you've eaten before you started and perhaps even dropped your insulin as well. Just like sport, it will actually reduce your sugar level. The thing with having a hypo during sex is that it affects your arousal level, so that's important to avoid for both guys and girls. For guys in particular, it's also a physical issue as well because it can affect your ability to maintain an erection. The other important thing is to let your partner know. This is important because if you do have a hypo during sex, they can help you out to run and get some extra food. It can affect your performance, and so it's good to make sure that they know so they don't think it's them. So just remember, always practice safe sex and have fun.
Channel change. Next. 12.
You played a great game today, mate. You're shaping up to be the best fullback we've had in years.
Thanks.
Another?
Actually, I was thinking maybe we should go down the street and grab something to eat.
It's happy hour. Come on, we won. Same again?
No, I'm right. Should we make a move?
No way, mate. We're almost up on the table.
But I'm starving.
Come on, we'll just have one game. Your shout, right? We're bigs, mate.
Yes! We're up again.
Hi, James.
Come on, mate. Let's go.
Get off me! That's it, buddy. You're out. Let's go.
I'll start again.
I haven't forget to drink tonight.
I'm not drunk, alright? Just leave me alone. Go away, please. Just leave me alone.
Heavy. Launch menu. Info mode. Educator.
Alcohol and diabetes isn't a great mix. What happens when you drink alcohol is that the sugar that is released by the liver is affected, and this can lead to hypoglycemia. It's a good idea to tell your friends that you've got diabetes, so in case you are having a hypo, they don't mistake it as you being drunk. When you're out drinking, it's really important that you eat regular carbohydrates through the night. When you get home from a night of drinking, make sure that you take your blood sugar level, have your nighttime insulin, and have a nighttime snack. It's also important that you set your alarm clock. We want you to wake up the following morning so you have your insulin. Otherwise, it could lead to DKA.
It's probably upstairs.
Channel change.
Let's go.
42. Oh, nasty. Launch menu. Yeah, info mode. Parents.
When you play sport, you expend a lot of energy, and under competitive pressure, your body will release concentrated doses of adrenaline. Now, whilst that will increase your physical capacity in the short term, it can seriously affect your blood sugar levels. Because your body is making better use of insulin and using energy at a much faster rate, there is a risk of hypoglycemia. You can function better for up to 12 hours after you've played sport on a much smaller dose of insulin. Be sure to tell your coach and your teammates that you have diabetes so that they're aware of the fact that something may happen. Important to test your blood sugar level before you play sport, during and after you're finished. You'll know when you're high because you'll feel incredibly thirsty and you'll want to pee all the time. And that's going to put you off your game. It's a good idea to increase your food intake and reduce your insulin dose just prior to your playing sport. And it's only through a process of trial and error that you'll be able to set up and fine-tune your pre-sporting routine. Diabetes doesn't prevent you from playing sport. The most important thing is that you stay in control.
Launch menu.
And you enjoy yourself.
Email. Phil. Yeah, play.
CP! You piker! Piker! What happened to you last night? I mean, Lenny's brother went out, got us a slab. Okay, like, I put in for your share in my own pocket, and Pat and I ended up having to split between us. I mean, like, I'm out of pocket now. Hang on. Alright, yeah. Oh.
Think I put on some UV cream to stop me from burning alive.
Okay, so, I'd love to see.
Plasticine. Yeah, it's like a website. Look, what's going on? Give me a call. Really gotta take a slash. Okay, bye.
Launch menu. Internet. Search plasticine. Interview.
Play. Since before I can remember, I wanted to play guitar. So I was learning classical guitar until I was a teenager. And then I went crazy, I wanted to play Kiss songs and AC/DC songs. And my classical guitar teacher didn't know what I was talking about. Throughout the years, you know, your influences change, but early on it was very much Ace Frehley and Angus Young and Stevie Ray Vaughan and probably Eddie Van Halen. I mean, he influenced all guitarists. I just feel like now that I'm writing really good songs, so I've gotten to a point where I realise that you don't, if you want to say something, the fact that it's hard being a diabetic, for instance, you don't go saying that in the lyrics. Just a bit more ambiguous. Before you know it, you're getting to know people who are in all sorts of bigger bands and making friends with them and playing with them, and you're getting better as a player because you're playing with these people, and also you're getting opportunities that they'll call you up and say, you want to come on tour with us? The Super Jesus is a new band for me. I mean, it's a bit under a year now we've been working together. So they notice things about you that they didn't realise, like the fact that you're doing your finger pricking for your blood sugar levels before you eat and before you have your needles, and doing your needles and things, and rather than run off into another room and do it, I just think, I'm sure that they're going to get used to it after a couple of days, and that just brings questions up for them, and they start saying, so what do you do that for, and what does that mean, and so what is it that your body doesn't do? It's just funny. I never feel like there's any peer pressure. You get up in the morning, have your breakfast, and normally you get in a car and drive all day to the gig that's the next night. And I explain to them, look, I'm not trying to cause disruptions, but I've got to eat at certain times of the day. So when I ask you to pull over, you just don't give me a hard time about it. After that happens a few times, no one questions you anymore, and they end up saying, all right, well, when are we eating, Tim? And they'll ask me, when's lunchtime, so we can all get lunch together, which is quite funny. I don't drink or smoke or anything like that. I mean, I never, and I sort of don't, I don't blame that on having diabetes. I just always thought, I'm not sure if I should do that. And before you know it, I'm in my late 20s and I'm still going, I'm not sure if I should do that. Maybe it might, I've already got enough health problems, why should I just make it worse? I've never had a problem where it's affected how I've been playing or anything like that. It was just the odd time where it's gone really low and I thought, I better do something about this, and just gone over and had some coke. It's not, I don't think anyone would notice. I mean, especially when you think you're seeing a band, if you see some guy who looks a bit iffy on stage and he's gone a bit pale, he's a bit shaky, you're not going to be thinking, oh, that guy's got diabetes. You'll just be thinking it's the same as every second other band you've ever seen in your life, With my career from way back when I first left the carpentry to now, you just can't make
launch menu,
hard and fast plans because so many things can change.
TV mode. 59.
Fans to Big Saturday. It's our carryover champions, Gaza and Shazza. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Jeff.
Jeff, can you give us some stats on young Gary here?
Well, Gary was the last man left standing at last year's Horsham District BNS. His form's been a bit shabby lately, though, so it'll be very interesting to see how he goes tonight. The car's pumping, it's full of adrenaline, and things are looking pretty damn good as far as I'm concerned.
Here's Shazza moving into the club. She's looking good, straight from work and dressed to kill.
Yes, I believe that's a new top, Jeff. I haven't seen that one before.
New venue, unfamiliar territory. This will test her skills.
Meanwhile, back at the campsite, the boys are struggling with technology there, and I do believe it may be getting the better of it.
Shazza's out onto the dance floor, warming up. Look at the work there. She's ready to roll.
The big game started for the boys, and they're all listening in. I think the first slab's being cracked, the first goal's being kicked. Will these champions be able to put away what they've done before?
Checking out the other players in the club there. Let's look at our champ now. She's had a bit to drink, nothing to eat, but she can handle it, I hope.
Meanwhile, the boys are looking a bit worse for wear there, and so's that snag, come to think of it. And but at least he's having a snack there, and that's always a good thing at this particular point in the evening.
Well, oh, she's back into the play. Look at that. She's had a drink, and look at the arm work there. She's nothing stopping.
Have you noticed her
tonight.
eating anything at this point?
Not yet.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I think we may be getting a bit of a skull slammer here. Are we? Are we going to get one? Yeah! What a showman.
Shaz has had a bit of a tackle here, but she brushes it off beautifully. Look at that work
A sensible bit of play she's done all
Had
night.
a bit to drink, nothing to eat.
Meanwhile, they're cooking up a bit of bread. Hey, what's that called, by the way, Jeff?
It's called toast.
Toast, a good snack for late at night, absolutely.
Well, Shaz is quite inebriated. She's gone the giggle, and she could keep this up for hours. Who knows? She's got to get home safely, and this is the serious end of the evening. She's done it.
She's done it.
Well done. On her feet. Still, oh, that door's a bit loud.
Oh, that hurt.
Can she get to bed in one piece? Because it's not over yet. No, the jersey's off.
Can we get video replay on that?
There it comes.
Meanwhile, Gaz is down, and, well, it'll be all too easy at this point to just flake it. Let's see what he's going to do. He's getting the kid out. That's a good play.
They're neck and neck, but the training's showing. They've both got the kid out and going for the blood test. Well done, both of them, especially Shaz here.
Gary's going for it. Yes, he's continuing through that smooth play.
But the test is yet to come. This is the big test.
And he's going for the jab. Yes, it's smooth, and it's in.
Can her training kick in? She's just got to wait for the result. Oh, she's dropped, taking her eyes off the ball. Come on, Shaz.
It's not happening. It's not. But meanwhile, Gary's settling down for what's going to be a clear night, but I don't know what's happening on the other side of the field.
Shaz, wake
Come
up,
on, Shaz.
wake
What
up.
are you doing? What's going on?
No, she's falling over.
She's out. No, it's gone on the floor.
Could be the turning point of the match.
Meanwhile, next morning, Gaz is up and about. He does have a bit of a thumper, looking a bit worse for wear, but it's going to be interesting to see what he does from this point onwards.
Shaz's coach has been called in. Here she is, and she knows that there's a problem. She's not happy, and why should she be? Because there's Shaz flat out.
Gaz is settling down. I think he will be going for the kid at this point. He hasn't put a foot wrong so far, and he is. He's going for the pocket. There it is. Well played. Excellent play.
Coach has identified the problem. Kit's on the floor, and Shazza, she's got a terrible shade of green. She's going to go for the big run. Is she going for the big goal? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Technicolor yawn.
Oh, could be ugly, but Gaz is up and about. What's he doing? He's not reaching for the hair of the dog, I hope. What's going on here?
It's the big spit. Yes, indeed.
Oh, yucky. Oh, he's going for an apple. Now, that's very sensible play there. Good stuff to get into you at this point of the day, and plenty to share with a mate. Good sportsmanship.
Shaz's coach is trying the same technique, but it's not working because she can't handle anything. She's going for the Technicolor yawn, ladies and gentlemen. Let's round two. There it is.
Oh. Meanwhile, Gary's feeling a little bit seedy too, but not quite that bad. I think a snack could lift his spirits if he manages to get one in him, which he does, and he's up.
He's having a test. I think if one is the high end of normal, doesn't explain the nausea.
Meanwhile, the boys are indulging in some kind of primitive bonding ritual involving a leather watermelon, I believe there, Jeff.
What is that? We've had the urine test. Oh, it's the ketones. I can see them from here.
I can smell them from here.
Is that purple or what? Not a jumper. That's the ketones. This is back for round three.
Meanwhile, the boys are still kicking it around. Gary's showing good form there, which is great.
Yeah, the coach is on the phone. She's called the medic in.
The boys have arrived home and it's been a splendid weekend. What a return to form it's been for Gary. And we'll be seeing more of that party action in weeks to come.
It's official. Shaz is off the field. 2 to 3 days minimum. Very disappointing. You can see the coach there. Very disappointed.
Oh, Gags can certainly put it away, but that boy knows how to stay in control, and that's what's important.
She's going round 4. She's got hollow legs.
God.
He's happy, and so he should be.
Well done, Gazza. You've shown really good form and good sense.
Yes, left a bad taste in her mouth, but she'll be back on her feet in a couple of days.
Launch menu. Info mode. Doctor.
Diabetic ketoacidosis, or DKA, occurs when there's not enough insulin in the body to prevent fat breaking down, and ketone bodies are produced, and ketone bodies are acidic. So when they enter the bloodstream, they make the blood acidic. If you've been unwell and your blood sugar levels have been running high for a few days, or if you've been out and you've been perhaps eating more than you normally would and then skipped an insulin injection, you're at risk of developing DKA. If you're in this situation and you start vomiting, or your breath smells sweet, or you just feel off colour, it's really important to test your urine for ketone bodies. As a secondary consequence of not having enough insulin, the blood sugar levels are often very high and people start passing a lot of urine and become dehydrated. This combination of dehydration and vomiting and acidic blood is a very bad one, a nasty combination, and can result in people becoming very sick very quickly. If this happens, you must get in touch with your diabetes care team promptly so they can prevent you from needing to come into hospital. If you get full-blown DKA, you're looking at a hospital admission with intravenous resuscitation and requiring intravenous insulin. It's not much fun by anybody's book.
Well,
Channel change.
Good night from me, and it's good night from him.
Next. 12.
Police investigation is underway tonight to piece together a series of unfortunate events which resulted in a young diabetic man being ejected from a bar and later admitted to hospital with severe hypoglycemia. Darren Linton has that story.
When 18-year-old James Tasman joined his teammates at this popular inner-city nightclub last night for a few drinks, he didn't expect to end up in hospital. James was celebrating a sporting achievement in traditional style, but being a diabetic, he was limiting his alcohol consumption. Eyewitnesses from within the club say they saw him becoming increasingly disruptive and assumed he was intoxicated.
An adverse diabetic reaction can affect people in different ways. When a person's having a hypoglycemic episode, or basically their blood sugar is low, they can appear quite unsteady on their feet and may show episodes of aggressive behaviour.
James Tasman wasn't drunk, but complications with his medical condition set him on a white-knuckle ride through a social system usually travelled by hardened drinkers and petty criminals.
The lad was not wearing any medical identification and was incoherent, so unfortunately the officers on duty were unaware of his diabetic condition, and therefore a significant amount of time passed before he was released from the cells and into the hands of medical experts.
How does a clean-cut lad like James end up in a situation like this? There are obviously more questions to be asked about that fateful night. Darren Linton reporting.
Channel change.
There's renewed criticism from the opposition
27.
today.
It's funny, take a drag. You're not even drawing back, Bronny. It's all in your mouth. You've got no idea. Watch. This is how you do it. Watch me.
Launch menu. Info mode. Youth worker.
The long-term effects of smoking are very well documented. The stuff about cancers, lung disease, and the circulatory effects of smoking are everywhere. Smoking, when combined with the oral contraceptive pill in women, once again increases those risks. Young people with diabetes already have the potential to develop circulatory problems later in life. So why smoke and increase the chances of something like this happening? You can say it again for marijuana smoking, except you have an added effect to worry about. When you smoke marijuana, you'll often find that you get the munchies about halfway through. The desire to eat will increase your blood sugar, and thus it's going to throw all your sugar controls out. When you wake up in the morning, you've pigged out the night before, you're not going to feel hungry. It's going to throw out your whole insulin routine for that day.
I'm thirsty. I've got to get a drink. Yeah, have some beer.
No, I've got some upstairs.
Can I borrow light, girls? Thanks.
Now he was cute. I love this song. Come on, let's go down.
Oh yeah, jump up in the air if you're ready. If you're ready, steady. If you're ready, let's go, go. If you're ready,
I was really thirsty.
You guys got any smokes?
He'd smoke them all.
It's a disgusting habit anyway. Actually, I'll buy you a pack. Pack of Woody Blues, thanks. And you feeling better? You weren't looking too good back there.
Yeah, I'm fine. I just had to grab a drink, that's all.
So, what are you doing now?
I was just going to call Dad, tell him to come pick me up.
Well, we'll wait with you if you like.
Yeah.
Aww,
Thanks.
channel change. 12.
Court is in session for everyone versus James.
Your Honour, Reynolds for the prosecution. Young man, you are being charged with failure to eat regularly, failure to inform your friends of your medical condition, and failure to wear your medical identification. You really screwed up last night, didn't you?
Look, it's not my fault. I tried to get my mate to go for something to eat, but he wouldn't listen.
Of course he didn't listen. It was happy hour, Your Honour. But I would have if I'd known. Why don't you just tell me, James?
Yeah, right. Like you'd really want to be my mate if you knew I had a disease and was a hassle to be around.
It's a medical condition, James, not a disease. Did all the talks we have in clinic go in one ear and out the other?
It's not fair. All my friends can go out and not have to worry about anything.
Oh, my heart bleeds. You got me into trouble with the boss, you little punk. You had no medical ID, and I thought you were just another drunk.
Have you seen those ID bracelets? I think I'm a loser.
So what other people think is more important than your health? Don't you have a mind of your own?
Dad and I told you this would happen if you went out drinking, didn't we, Vincent?
You all criticise me, but you don't know what it's like. It's hard enough being a teenager, let alone living with diabetes.
Order! Order!
I just want to be normal and have a good time.
Your witness. Reynolds for the defence, Your Honour. James, I bet there are some days when you feel like you're the only person in the world with diabetes. Now, both you and I know that's not the case. So perhaps it's time you started thinking about how you can make things easier for yourself.
James, my door is always open. I can put you in contact with some young people who have diabetes, who get together and just hang out.
We just want you to enjoy life, son. And if we're confident you can handle yourself, we won't hassle you so much.
And James, maybe we could go out sometime, as long as you promise not to end up on the 6 o'clock news.
Your Honour, I rest my case.
Young man, I think we've heard enough. Now, let's not hear any more of this nonsense. Case dismissed.
Jamie, come on, you're already late.
So, what'd you think?
Mate, that was beautiful.
Oh, yeah. But honestly...
No, it was good. I didn't realise there were so many of you freaks out there.
Oh, thank you very much.
Well, you have been a bit weird lately.
Oh, it's been rough.
Yeah, mind you, you've always been a bit weird. Yeah. Red Sector, Red Leader 1, Red Leader 1.
Right there, man. Just want to keep messing with my stuff.
Yeah, why not? Hey, what's the deal using my email in your video?
Well, that's what happened.
Well, am I going to get some money for it, or
right,
what?
you should be paying me.
Right. This diabetes thing, it isn't so bad. I think even I could get used to it.
Oh, yeah, well, before you get too carried away, there's one more little thing I need to show you. Video mode. Play.
social network's a good one, a good start, but also just, the leadership skills and things from you that you gain from some of the opportunities that...
Bit of support and relief to teenage diabetics. Just help their life, everyday life with diabetes a bit easier in any way we can, because we all live with it and we sort of know what it's like.
It's nothing terribly formal, and that's the way it should be, I think, because you can always talk to a doctor or a diabetes educator if you want something, want professional advice. We give sort of, I don't know if you call it lifestyle advice, but we've been there and we can offer some help if you want it.
Health professionals like myself tend to lump people together, and the Injectors give a lovely perspective that everyone can deal with diabetes in many different ways.
If we can offer, first of all, the peer group support and also the knowledge that there are very few limitations on being a diabetic, then that's good.
The challenge for us is to get into that, that teenage market where, if you drive a real hard diabetes-related message, they're just going to turn off and they're going to hate it. You've got to mix it in with just, normal, regular teenage stuff. Make it, and that in itself just makes it part of everyday life, I think, anyway.
What sort of things did you get from the Injectors?
Friendship, maybe, I guess. Lots of friends, lots of support, just the knowing that there's heaps of other people out there that are in the same boat as me.